Hi guys, and welcome back to our poultry channel here in Thailand. So this is Adonis. He's our prize cockerel. He's a little bit twitchy. I haven't picked him up before apart from when he was a chick, so hopefully he'll settle down a bit. We have tethered his legs just in case I lose my vice-like grip on him. So today we're going to talk cockerels and why we're a huge fan of them. But it's not all plain sailing keeping cockerels on the farm here. So we'll give you 5 or 6 pluses, and we'll then give you the 4 or 5 downsides of keeping cockerels as well. So let's get into it straight away. First off, your cockerels are a bigger bird than the hens. A bigger chicken means more meat on the bone for you. So one bird goes a lot further on the dining table. The next thing is, the cockerels seem to grow quite a bit faster. Well, this certainly does. This Thai native chicken breed grows a lot quicker than the hens do. I don't know whether it's to do with they've not got to produce an egg, so all their energy is going into building muscle. So for this particular cockerel, I think he's about 5 months now, and he's just about full size. He could probably grow a little bit more. He's approaching about 2 kg, but if you wait too long, when you give him the chop, he's a little bit too tough. Well, a lot of people do like that in Thailand, but if it's too elastic, you end up picking chicken out your teeth for about the next half a day. The good thing about having a rooster on your farm is they help to keep predators at bay. Sometimes you'll get the eagles round here. There's also a lot of crows as well. Snakes, dogs, cats, monitor lizards, scorpions, all those sorts of things, although these will eat the small grey coloured scorpions here. And it's not that they fight them off, it's just that they've got brilliant eyesight, and he doesn't like me moving, does he? Come on, mate. Adonis doesn't like me talking into his ear. It's really, they raise the alarm. Soon it's quite a distinctive call. It's not a cock-a-doodle-doo, it's sort of a screech. And then you'll see all the chicks and the hens, they'll all run for cover. The next thing, which is probably quite underrated, but when you keep a lot of chickens, you really get to appreciate this. Cockerels help to keep the peace. And we've all heard of the phrase henpecked. Hens can be quite vicious, and there's definitely a hierarchy involved, and there's a lot of squabbling. Even once you've had the same chickens for a long time, they still kick off. When you see the hens kicking off and it's quite vicious, Adonis, he'll come flying over from nowhere, straight in between them with a Jet Li roundhouse, and it stops immediately. So they're good at keeping the peace. The next thing is, of course, cockerels have got big balls. I don't particularly eat them, but they are good eating. You ask my sister and brother-in-law, they like to nosh on the old cockerel nads, but the main benefit of his big balls are, of course, the fertilized eggs. So if you want to increase your flock of chickens, then get yourself a cockerel. You don't have to go out and buy fertilized eggs or chicks, and you know what you get. If you've got a good cockerel and your hens are at a reasonable standard, then of course the chicks stand a good chance of being very good as well. If you're in the market for selling chickens, now, I know in Europe, when we were back in the UK, you couldn't bloody sell a cockerel. You had to give them away. We used to... Settle down, Adonis. All right, mate. We used to get free cockerels from people advertising online. Everyone wanted egg-laying hens back in the UK. And, of course, depending on where you live, you may not be able to have a cockerel because they can be a little bit noisy. So, price-wise, out here, for a live animal, depending on how buff they are, I mean, he's a handsome lad, I wouldn't let him go cheap anyway, but if they're a good size and they grow quick, cockerels can fetch an incredible amount of money. Unfortunately, a lot of that is for the cockfighting. We're not into that. If people want the chicken already cleaned and prepped, ready for cooking, then it's 120 baht a kg. So weight-wise, your Guy Barn chickens, they're like the hens are probably 1.6, 1.7 kg. Your cockerels are hitting 2 kg and a little bit more, depending on, again, what strain you've got. And then the last bonus is they're bloody handsome. They're a really good looking bird, but not all cockerels are, of course. There are some that are looking pretty rough, but if you take care of them, give them good food, plenty of room for them to scrat around and get a good varied diet, then they look $1 million. Well, they do in our book anyway. So unfortunately, it's not all plain sailing keeping cockerels on your homestead. So let's go through a few of the things that may be a bit of a drawback for you. First off, they are noisy. He's not noisy now, but he was at about 2 o'clock this morning. That's right, it's not just when the sun starts to poke its head up. It's not all through the night, but there'll be a little bit of squabbling on their perches, where they roost at night. And when one cockerel starts, the others start, and it's a cockle-doodle off. You know, even if a cockerel's like half a mile away, they'll hear it, and then they'll be trying to match them and better them. To be honest with you, it doesn't really affect me and Toon. We've had cockerels for many years back in the UK and of course in Thailand. You just get used to it, and to us it's a nice noise on the farm. You know you're on a farm when the cockerels are kicking off. Saying that, where we've moved Barry, our silky cockerel, round the back of the house, he set up his crib there for his old aging harem. That is near our bedroom window, and he is top of the cock-a-doodle-doos in the morning, so that does wake you up now and again, but we're straight back to sleep, so not a problem. The next thing is, well, people say that the cockerels eat a lot of food compared to the hens. I'm 50-50 on this, really. I don't see it myself. If you think about it, yeah, they're a bigger animal, so they should take more food, but he's not knocking an egg out every day. That takes a lot of food. So to me, I don't really see a difference between a cockerel and a hen on their consumption of food. Of course, your egg production suffers as well. He's not knocking out many eggs, is he? But some people are of the opinion, I can't verify this one way or the other, that if you've got a cockerel, then your hens are more likely to lay more eggs. I don't know whether that's true. I think it might depend on your chicken. I mean, egg-laying chickens, caged chickens, there's no cockerel there, and they're banging out an egg a day. So I'm not sure, but you know, you hear an argument both ways on that one. The next thing, we have covered this in a previous video. I think it was the one slightly clickbait when I first did the thumbnail, about Rod Stewart's dead in Thailand. Rod Stewart was, to date, our best rooster on the farm. Fantastic looking animal, and big as well. He was 2.5 kg, and he did his job. Adonis here looks a little bit like him. He's got the old Rod Stewart mane at the back, but no, he was a fantastic looking animal. Unfortunately, when we were off the farm for a while, the person who used to come and look after our farm for us, for security, how could we put this? He likes cockfighting, or watching cocks fight. And by some coincidence, Rod Stewart had a fight with, you may remember, a big white cockerel, Snowflake, and it didn't end well. So difficult to prove what happened one way or the other, but that was a big loss. When you see any cockerels fight, and I don't recommend that you do, it is vicious, guys. I mean, I've been lacerated a few times by these fellas, and you know, there's blood everywhere, and they keep going. They will not back down at all. And even if one was to back down, the other one would just keep on, and it's to the death, unfortunately. Now, we do free range our chickens. Well, we've got a big fenced enclosure, but they've got loads of space to explore and keep themselves to themselves if they want. Now, we have got a lot of cockerels, not as many as we used to. I think we got up to 14 at one time, so you can imagine what that was like in the mornings and the evenings, cock-a-doodling. There were very, very few fights. In fact, we only had one, and that was when one of our cockerels, that wasn't the top cockerel, fancied his chances because he got stuck on the other side of the fence, and realised that our top cockerel at the time couldn't get to him, and they were fighting each other through the fence, and there was still blood everywhere. You know, I don't know how long they've been going at it, but they don't need long. Apart from that, and the incident where maybe one was let out to fight another one, there hasn't been any other fighting, which is incredible, the amount of cockerels we have. So here's the secret. Well, I don't know if it's a secret, but here's Leigh's top tip if you want to keep multiple cockerels. If you free range them from the start, have them all together, as the young cockerels get bigger and bigger, they may well outgrow your number one chicken. But it's a bit like a game of poker, really. He still thinks he's the biggest and the best, and he's got a psychological advantage over the other chickens. What you don't want to be doing though is, if they do start to face off with each other, and the young ones realise that they're in with a shout, then it'll all kick off and it won't end well. So, to wrap things up, unfortunately for Adonis, now don't worry, I'm not going to garrote Adonis in front of the camera. We don't do that sort of thing anymore. Well, we never did anyway. But his time has come, and what's actually happened is one of his offspring has grown incredibly quickly, and he's actually outgrown him, and he's only about 4 months old. So it's partly to do with, you know, it's only a matter of time until the youngster takes him on. But the other thing is, if you've got a cockerel that grows very, very quickly and to a good size, that's the gene pool that you want. So you marry up your best cockerel with your hens, and hopefully their offspring should be nice and strong and healthy and grow big. So it's been a good cockerel. He is beautiful, and this is the thing. When we first got these, I was struggling to eat a cockerel. I just, no, he's so handsome, can't do it. And then after a while, you just think, well, hang on, you do taste really good, and there's some other lads that are looking not quite so handsome, but they're coming on strong. So rather than wait until he gets as tough as old boots, I'm sure he's going to do us proud. So don't feel sorry for him, guys. He's had a good life here. He's been shagging his brains out every single day. He's had a good life. He sleeps with about 20 women every single night, and he's had the run of this place. So, you know, he's had a good innings, shall we say. So there you go. I recommend cockerels, keeping cockerels, for the reasons that I've given. They're not for everyone. Again, the location that you live in may actually make the decision up for you that you're not allowed to keep cockerels. But if you are allowed, give it a go. There's no need just to kill them just because they're a male. You'll see a lot of these chicken production companies that grow chickens for meat. It's pretty horrific, some of the footage. Just a little conveyor belt, all the male chicks go on the conveyor belt, still alive, and they drop in a little hopper straight into a mincer, and it goes to be made into animal feed. So he's going to feed us, and nothing will be wasted. Nothing will be wasted at all. We also eat the intestines, the heart, the liver. I don't eat his ball bag, but just about everything else gets eaten. If you like the video, gave you a bit of an insight, press the like button. We'll owe you one. Ta-da for now. Hi guys, and welcome back to our poultry. And here's the secret. Well, I don't know whether it's a secret, but here's what I've noticed. He'll still feel a little bit inferior. Right then, miss, is the hot water on?
That's right. Not long now.
Right then, let's sort this out then. Can't show it on camera, people get all upset, don't they?
Sort his neck out.
Sort his neck out, alright.